Hey, what is up everybody? Kilryan here bringing you another video, and this time I think it's going to be really useful for everyone who's going to be starting out Blade and Soul, or even the veterans who are coming over in A and may have forgot this information. What it is it's going to be a overview of how to get to basically level 45 weapon evolution. As you know, if you haven't seen the video in the bottom right now, I highly recommend watching that, because this video kind of picks up where that one ends. But weapon evolution, all the way up from the first levels, or the first level as soon as you get your Hungman weapon, all the way up to level 45, where each individual world boss is, what roulettes you're going to use, basically everything that you're going to need to get up to max level and be doing max level content once we hit in a release. Once again, definitely watch the video in the below if you haven't seen it already, because this is going to be picking up where that goes. Alright, let's hop right on in, guys. Alright, there's a couple things that I want to address before we actually basically get in to the whole weapon evolution process and whatnot. And the main thing is the necessary items on top of, basically on top of the actual weapons that you're going to need while you're going about the evolution process. These things can be obtained through crafting or through certain dungeons or certain dailies in each area. Things that you'll be coming across, if I go to the auction house here, most of the time, honestly, you're going to find most of these items on the auction house. You can run several times of an instance or whatever to obtain them if you so chose, but for the most part, you will be purchasing these, or on the cash shop that it is also accessible. So let's see, material looks like a lot of things, right? So the first thing that I would want to address is the Dragon Forest Venom. This is going to be the first thing that you're going to come across, and I also showcase it in the next clip. But this is from basically from dungeon dailies in your level 15 area. You may need about 3 or 4 of these total for across your accessories and your weapon. Dragon Forest Evolve Stones, these are from crafting. So crafters will be actually making these. That's where crafters will also make some of their money. You will need one of these for your evolution process, as well as any kind of evolve stone. So like the Great Desert Evolve Stone, once again, is through crafters. Another thing, or the 2 other things that I kind of wanted to address, were the Demon King Tooth, as well as the Great Flame Sage Horn. This Demon King Tooth is for your level 20, and I believe 27 upgrade. You're going to need about 10 of these, and they drop out of the first 6-man dungeon. And then the Great Flame Sage Horn is from the level 36 dungeon, which is once again a part of your weapon evolution process. You're going to be using all of these types of things, these materials, to upgrade your weapons as well as your overall equipment and accessories. Just wanted to add this in here, so you know you don't get to that point and you're just like, wow, you didn't tell me about these. So main things, guys: Dragon Forest Venom, Evolve Stones, whether it be the Dragon Forest or the Great Desert, as well as Moonwater Plains Evolve Stones, your Demon King Tooth, and your Great Flame Sage Horn. On the NA Technical Alpha or Beta or on release, you will be able to go in the auction house. You'll go under material, and there's just this huge list. You can just find them straight up on the material list. Alright, guys, let's hop right on into the actual leveling process. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is showcasing how to go about upgrading your first Hungman weapon. Once again, this can be utilized, as you saw in the original video. It can be utilized all the way up to max level, and this video is going to be guiding you on how to go about getting all the way to the max. So first, I want to showcase how to go about actually upgrading your weapon. I know that you may have skipped over a tutorial or something like that to do this, but just to kind of touch up on it again, what you want to do is de-equip the item from your inventory or from your equip slot. You shift left click it, it'll bring up the refinement tab. Then you take all the fodder weapons and everything like that you've gotten up to this point to basically maximize the item. So in this situation, I have 2 of them. Boom! I got it up to the maximized point, known as the Hungman Gauntlet 5th stage. And now what I need in this situation is my breakthrough material. Breakthrough means basically getting it from 5th stage up to 6th and unlocking 6th through 10th stage. Alright? So, let me see here. I do have one of these. So, as you can see, with this breakthrough, what it requires is it requires a weapon, right? It requires a weapon that will be used as the breakthrough fodder, but also an additional item. This is usually something that you obtain through questing, through crafters and whatnot, as addressed in my first video, and this being the Dragon Forest Venom. Alright. So I already have that. You do need to unseal the item or the fodder equipment that you're going to be utilizing. And so right here we broke through the item. At this point you need to get it all the way back up to stage 10. Alright? So in this situation, now this is really where we're going to get on into the video, because like I said, you should have already been addressed as far as getting up to this point. Alright. So moving on, I'm going to show you where we go about getting this Ghost Gauntlet, or I believe it's called the Blight Gauntlet on North America. Alright guys, we've arrived to where we're going to be going about grabbing the Blight Gauntlet, which is the level 20 actual evolution item. Evolution means once you've achieved max on an item, so or 10th stage, as you will, it'll ask for an evolution item, which means it'll evolve it and bring it to a level 1, basically an upgraded level 1 weapon. As you can see, the Awakened Ghost Gauntlet first stage, right? You probably have seen this location through questing. This is where you're going to be running the first 6-man dungeon of the game, so I would not recommend soloing it. Probably would not recommend duoing it. You can try with 3 people, 4 people, but this is where you're going to go about getting this item. If you want to, you could utilize the... If you wanted to, you could utilize the actual pillars here to start up a group, and it's the Southern Sea Fleet. It's called something different on North America, I know that for a fact, but I guarantee there's going to be a lot of people listed here. Or you could go about this route, where on F8 you can say, yes, I want to go to a dungeon lobby, and in this situation it'll teleport you to a waiting room. And at this point you are going to just select the first dungeon. It's the only purple one at your level. Alright? Once you run this, you'll basically obtain the weapon box, and I would recommend just using, probably using normal keys, because you probably want to save, your Viridian key for a couple of the little bit later on ones. Alright guys, so this is how you get your first one. Let's continue on. Once again, this video is going to go all the way up to level 45, so bookmark it, you know, like it, favorite it, or whatever it may be, just so you can kind of come back as you are reaching these points. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so what this area is here, it's called the Impure Spirits Cave. I think it's called like the Corrupted Gorge or something on those lines in North America, but this is where you're going to be getting let's see, your third actual upgrade piece. This dungeon here is intended, I would say, for at least 2 or 3 people, because it is fairly challenging. But right up here north, called the Impure Spirits Cave. You can also see this picture shown here, and if you wanted to, you can queue through F8 to see if you can get a dungeon queue with other players. But there will probably be enough people around your level really looking to do this content, so you should be able to go about finding a group for it. This one I do really recommend using a Cinderlands key on, solely due to the fact that this is a dungeon that actually takes honestly quite a bit of time, because it's a like gauntlet type dungeon. So basically, I would recommend using a key on it, a specialized key, just to speed up your overall leveling process. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, this is the boss right here, which is going to be dropping the necessary little, I guess, little turning things to do the roulette wheel for this weapon. You just kill the additional ads, or the ads right here, place these inside of here. And then this will activate the boss. I'm high level, and this is on Taiwan on here, which is I'm gonna make quick work of him. However, you know, it may be a little, or it's gonna be a little bit harder. It's gonna be a little bit harder if you're actually doing this while leveling. However, it is still entirely possible, especially whenever we're actually going to be having a lot that are ping. Let me just kill this guy real quick. See, I can even dodge stuff on Taiwan. There we go. These little yellow essences here. Keep in mind, you're also going to be getting them from, I believe, doing the survey or completing this story quest in this area. You will actually obtain, the, what's called as well. Let me run right on over here. Alright, then you're going to be going about spinning the wheel. You're going to be getting, more than likely you'll be getting one of these. You'll be getting the necessary box to actually go about opening it. Let's see, not the sealed pirate one. We already went over that. Sealed diamond weapon. Diamond, it's probably it's very subject to change for actual NA, but it is the same progression path. I would honestly recommend just using normal keys on this until you get your class. Just because I think using a Cinderlands key, a red key at this point, is a little bit overkill. And with how easy that boss is to kill and how many people are probably going to be killing it during that time, you're definitely going to be able to. Alright, on to the next one. Next up, you're going to be coming to, I believe it's called Tomun's Mirage or something along those lines on the North American server. But in the Cinderlands, this great inn right up here, you've probably already visited this location, but this is where you go for the next one. This is actually right over here at the Cinderlands Tile Merchant. He's right next to this wheel, the wheel here. But what you're going to be getting is the Desert, well, it'll probably be called something different once again on NA, but the Desert Blue Steel Gauntlet, which takes 10 Cinderlands tiles. You're going to be getting these through just doing questing, through just doing random dungeons. You should have 10 of these saved up, but this is going to be your next step as far as upgrading goes. Alright. Now that you all know how to do that, on to the next, right? And the next one that you're going to be getting after we do the Scorpion is going to be from the Tomb of Sacrifice, the Great Flame Sage. It is the second real 6-man dungeon. You probably have ran it already, but this is where you're going to go about getting your next weapon. I would also recommend if you do have one of the red keys, it may be recommended to use it on this so you're not repeatedly having to run this instance, you know, waiting for queues or whatever, especially if you're pushing levels fairly quickly. Who knows if there's going to be enough people queuing. But it is the Tomb of Sacrifice, which you'll see the picture. It's going to have the exact same picture. It'll just be translated. This will be your next weapon. It is for the level 36. Alright, we're finally starting to get that pretty far up there in levels. The next boss that you're going to have to be doing is going to be the Black Beast deity, or Lycan on North America. You probably saw him whenever you were fighting him through the storyline quest. However, this is going to be for your breakthrough. Once again, gonna just speed through this because it does take quite a while for me to kill this guy. During you know, during the leveling process, we're going to be having a lot of people doing this, so kind of keep in mind you're not going to be alone. Also, this guy would be actually exceptionally hard to... Alright, now we finally defeated him. Black Beast Deity Essence. And that goes straight to this town right over here. Once again, you do obtain a couple of these essences if you're going through the quest line. However, it's a high possibility that you are going to want your weapon upgrade before you actually fully complete the questing of each zone, right? So, let's see, here we go. Black Beast Deity. We're looking for the weapon, of course, not the Bopay set. Here we go. Once again, bosses are going to be pretty abundantly being killed, so if you want the costume or whatever it may be, feel free to go about farming it. Open it on up, see what you get, and once again, I didn't get my class thing, but this is this location. On to the next one. All right. Now we're on to approaching almost the end. This one's a little interesting. You actually have to kill one of the pigs here, and we're going for the Sea Cave Monkfish. You should actually have elite dailies for each of these, and looks like a couple of people could use my help right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Usually what you would do is take this pig right over to this rock, and it would spawn the Sea Cave Monkfish. This is going to be him. He is kind of hard. Like, I wouldn't really recommend soloing him because he's rather challenging. So, boom, boom, uppercut. There we go. This one actually drops, instead of a roulette wheel, it actually drops this right here, which you open, and it's pretty much guaranteed to give you this sealed Sea Cave Monkfish weapon box. However, I know for a fact as well, whenever you are questing, let's see, whenever you're questing right up here, you'll basically, while you're leveling, you'll probably notice this, but this little quest hub right here, they do give you a weapon box as well. So if you can't happen to find a group to do this boss, or if you want to try soloing him, go for it. Hey, look, for once I actually got what I was supposed to. So, at this point, we're up to level 40, guys. You're up to level 42, 43 even. So we're almost at max level. On to the next one. Alright, as we're approaching pretty close to the end of the whole video and whatnot, this is going to be the Aquatic Frog Temple. I'm not exactly, it's something frog in the NA version. This dungeon, I would probably recommend like 2 or maybe 3 people to do it, because this boss is pretty hard. I was able to solo it on the NA alpha, but I was chain popping those 20,000 healing potions that they were giving us. But let me just kill him real quick. Alright. Now that has been completed, once again, we're going to see here, you think like, oh, he didn't drop anything, but you actually get it from the box over here. Whenever you complete a dungeon, you should always be redeeming the boxes. It should notify you as well, but you're going to be obtaining it through here. It is the Sealed Warlord Weapon. Not exactly sure what it's going to be called on NA. I do highly recommend using a Shining Plains key on this one as well, or I think it's called the Moonwater Plains, because chain running this place, you only get one at a time, and I mean, pure RNG is going to be kind of hard to come across, and as you can see, I did not get mine on this one. Let me see, but you can see it's saying, okay, this is going to use this sacrifice to unlock the next level's Ultimate Flame Dagger. Same idea, right? Alright. I believe I have one more stop after this one, guys, and then that'll be the end. yeah, well, it's not all the way up to the complete and total max, but you get the idea. And we are finally to the last and final one regarding, at least on this video. This will be getting you all the way up to level 45, you know, the full breakthrough, evolving, all of that. This should get you all the way up to 45, and this is the last one. It's in the Ghost City, and it's the 10,000 Souls Kyonshi. Once again, it's one of those bosses that we have to go about fighting. On this one, what you have to do is you kill all the ads all around the side. I did this with 2 people on the North American server. It was pretty hard. It was a Lin Blade Master and myself as a Kung Fu Master. Both of us died, I would say, 2 or 3 times while doing this fight. So I would highly recommend, if possible, getting a couple more people, or just go about doing straight through your quest line, because that'll actually give you the necessary things to spin the roulette wheel this time. But I do want to show you all kind of how the boss fight goes, as as you've seen on all the other ones. There we go. 10,000 Souls Kyonshi. As always, the roulette wheel is pretty close. Here we go. Yes, please roll it. 10,000 Souls Kyonshi box. Open it right on up. Once again, especially if you have Incoin, you're going to be able to purchase these straight up. Otherwise, it's not that hard farming them, if at all, if you want to at all. And then this will be the last remaining one. As you can see, equals awakened 10,000 Cold Dagger first stage. You will be using this as fodder for your equipment, and then this will get you all the way up to 45. This will get you all the way up to 45. Psych, guys. It's not over yet. Alright, so did a little bit more research just to make sure. I went through like everything, and there are 2 more steps that are, I guess, are a part of the level 45 weapon progression. However, it's a little like, these are both 6-man dungeons that level 45s are going to actually be doing. Alright, so what you're going to be doing is, at this point, you're going to want to actually go into the dungeon group finder, which is F9. If you hit F9, it'll automatically ask you to confirm, teleport you into the lobby room, and you're going to be running 2 instances. The first is Spider's Nest. This is going to be your breakthrough after the 10,000 Souls Kyonshi weapon. And then lastly, the very last one is going to be from Lin's Spirit Runes. Whenever you complete this dungeon, you know, it's just like we said with the frog one, where you're going to obtain the box, and then you're going to see two different kinds of boxes. One of them has a Lin Spirit weapon that's a blue. However, that is the incorrect one. You need to go for the epic box of the Lin Spirit weapon. Alright, guys? So, the breakthrough after 10,000 Souls Kyonshi, so you get it to rank 5, and you need to break it through so you can do 6 through 10, is from Spider's Nest. And then the evolution to basically the final one until endgame is the Lin Spirit Runes epic version, which will evolve it to the next one. I just wanted to tie everything up, make sure everything was neat and clean. But yeah, this is how we're going to go about getting prepared for NA release, guys. Know your progression path as far as all your weapons, so you can streamline your overall experience, your level gaining, and get you into in-game as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found it informational. Don't forget to, if it did help you, make sure to click the like button. It helps me out. Or share it to your buddies, possibly post it on the forums, just to make sure people know the proper steps to get to max level content so we can all enjoy it together. Also, if you didn't watch the first video, or the linked video at the beginning, make sure to go ahead and watch that, because it does have information regarding like the shop and whatnot to help optimize your leveling experience. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time.